Hello everyone. So today I'm going to do a craft with me. So if you'd like to follow along, I'm going to put all the details down in the description box for all the supplies that you'll need. So this is what we're going to be making. And they are just little envelopes, but they have a gusset on the side. And this was the first one I made. And so the idea with these is that you can use any pieces of spare scrapbook paper that you have left over. You know, those long strips that you get on the ends of paper when you cut them off. So that's what I've used here. And I'm going to show you how to make, hopefully the whole video, I should get everything in one video. And they're really easy. And so you just have a little gusset on the side. I've used some black card there, and then you've got your two little brads and a piece of twine for the closure. So, and then this one I used a piece of paper from the Artie Mazes kit, floral collage. So with this I've used I've printed the paper out and I've made the pocket lengthways. I've just cut it down the middle lengthways. So again, the same thing, I've just used some baker's twine to wrap around it. And this time we've got a white gusset. And what I intend to do with these is I'm going to make up some little mini books to put inside them. But you can, you know, add these to your journals, put them in your pockets. So that's that one. Okay, oh, so I'll just tell you that, so the measurements of these, I've basically worked them out at, this one is 3 1/4 and it's 5 inches long in length. And this piece, the flap that comes down, is about 1 3/4. So I've got another piece of Artie Mazes floral collage paper here, and this is just printed onto a 160 GSM card. So to start off, we're going to need a scoreboard, and I think I was going to fold this one up from the bottom. I mean, obviously this design is going in the wrong direction, but if you just sort of play about with it, you'll be able to decide which is going to look better. So I thought that would look better that way. So you don't have to score it, but I just score this first one. So score it at 4 inches. Then we just fold it up. And then this end, I just find it easier. You can score this flap coming down if you want to, but I just find it easier to just fold this end down. So if you just fold it down and obviously leave a tiny little gap there. So that should, so you've got a small gap at the edge. On this one, I did actually reinforce, because the card kept cracking. This cardstock kept cracking, so I did actually reinforce this little piece where the fold is with another piece of scrapbook paper. So you can do that if you want. So you just fold down like that and score it. So there we are, you've got your basic little envelope already. So we're just going to quickly ink round that. I'm just using vintage photo. And with both of them I did actually stitch around the edge, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. So that's the pocket. And then you're going to need, I used just 2 pieces of white cardstock. You can use craft. I did think that I might put some craft gussets there, but I decided to go with the white in the end. So these are, this measures 3 1/4 and the length is 3 1/2. So when they're made up into the gusset, it should just about be right there. So we need our scoreboard again. And with this one, with the gussets, you need to, with the score lines, you're going to need 5 score lines. So if you score at just 1/2 inch, so we end up with 5 score lines. And I was just thinking, I hope I've done that on the right side. Yep. So I better just mention, yeah, just so you know, you score on the 3 1/4 inch side. So we go again, start at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2 inches, 2 inches and 2 1/2 inches. And then all you need to do is fold this accordion style. So we just fold, do the first fold, turn it over and do the second fold. Use your bone folder to score, turn it back over and score again. Turn it over. You can press these down quite hard. And that's the last one. So you end up with a little bit bigger flap there, which you can just leave this if you want, but I'm just going to cut off a little piece of that. So then we go with the same one, the next one. So do the first score line. Second one, turn it again. I may speed some of this up but I'm boring you too much. So press that down really well. So then we have our little accordion gusset. And again, I'm just gonna cut down, just take a little bit of that flap off. So then we have our 2 gussets. So, and then so that they fit in a little bit better, I take my scissors and I just cut off at an angle on both sides. It just looks a bit neater as well. So you just end up with a nice neat edge. And then we're not going to do this part just yet because we have to make the little closures with the brads. So we've set those aside for the moment. Now this is a time if you want to do your stitching all the way around. Just show you that again. You need to stitch completely all the way round. So you need to open the paper up and just stitch all the way around. So I'm going to stitch mine, so I'll be back in a second. So I've stitched all the way around it. So the next part is, like I said, to make the little button brad closures. So for this you're going to need two pieces, two little circles, and I used a 1-inch circle punch. So you just need the sort of prettier side, so you only need 2 of them. And then I just used some cardstock. I've just punched that out. Just use some plain white cardstock. So you're going to need 3. You're going to need to glue 3 of these together. Or for each one. I haven't got enough white cardstock, so I'm just going to punch out a couple more. You can use up all your scraps, because with this sheet from Artie May's, you get a little strip left in the middle when you cut it out. Oops, got stuck. And then also, I'll show you in a minute, when you actually put the brads through, it's handy to just cover up the backs of the brads. So just punch out a couple more. So yeah, so you need 3 of these little buttons for each one. And then you also need a little piece to go on the inside. So, and then these just need to be glued together. So we'll just do that. I'm going to have this one as the top piece. I'm just using white tacky glue for this part. So that's one, and then just glue the other one. It sort of helps to strengthen them, you know, once the glue dries, they're quite nice and strong. Then I'll just quickly ink them. Just look a bit neater. And then for the brads in the middle, these are actually just some little brads that I had when I bought some charms, and they were attached, the actual charm was attached to the card with these little tiny brads. But otherwise these measure about 4 millimeters across the top in diameter. So we need 2 of them. And then I just use the back of an old mouse mat. So all you need to do, you need a pokey tool, and then I just eyeball it, and I just make a hole in the middle of each one, just like that. and then you can put the brad in. Just push the brad through. Just like that, and just leave it that way, just like that for now. And then we push the other one in. Just leave them like that. And then we have to decide exactly where these are going to fit. So if you open your piece of card out, and so they need to fit, you know, I'm going to eyeball it again. You can measure it if you want, roughly about there. So then we take the pokey tool, just make a little hole and push the brad through. That one does not want to go through. That's gone through. So then on the other side, you just have to take each side of the brad and push it down. Sometimes these can be a bit of a nuisance and not very easy to flatten down. So you just flatten that down as much as you can. So it's quite nice and tight. You want it to be reasonably tight, but you still need to be able to get the twine underneath. So that's that one. And then you can take the other one and just eyeball that again, which is about there, because you want to have enough space to sort of wrap your twine around. So we're going to do that one about there. I better open my piece of paper out, hadn't I? Oops. Just do that again, just check I've got it right. So just push that through to that side. And then just push the brad through again. Just push the brad down. So there we go. And then just to cover this up so it doesn't look so ugly on the back, I'm just going to glue a couple of these on. Just put a little bit of ink around them. So, and for these you really need some sort of fairly strong adhesive. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac, but anything that will sort of glue the metal down. This one's nearly empty. I need to get another one out. There we go. So, and just press that down on the inside, and that will just help to cover that, and just looks a bit nicer as well. So then we want to do the same for the other one. That'll just sort of protect it, you know. Also, when you're putting things inside the pocket, it'll stop papers and things from catching on it. So that's that. And now we need to put the twine on. So with this, I've got some baker's twine. Let's find the end. It's just some pink, I don't know if you can see that, pink baker's twine. You can use linen thread, you could use maybe jute string or something like that, but it's a good idea to not use anything too thick. You want sort of like a reasonable, just sort of a thinner material. So this is really easy. All you do is tuck the twine underneath like that. And then just tie a couple of knots fairly tight underneath, and that will attach, you know, it will go around the brad underneath. So we just do another one, and then just cut that piece of thread off under there. And then that should hold really firmly. So then we just wrap it round. I usually do it about twice, go around about twice with it. And cut your thread off. So there we are. So that's the closure done. So now we just have to glue on the gussets. So if you open it up again, now with the gussets, what I tend to do is I glue this part, if you can see, the neater, nicer part to the edge, so that part actually sticks out on the edge. I don't do it because if you glue it that way, then you've got these two horrible sort of edges. So it's nice, it looks a bit nicer that way. So we just need our tacky glue again. So just test that. Yeah, should be okay. So just put the tacky glue on this side. And then you want to leave the pointed side, just leave that a little way away from the fold. And then you just attach that. And the thing with this is to not attach it quite to the edge. You want to do it so it's just a little bit away from the edge, because when it folds up, you don't want the gusset piece to sort of stick out too much at the sides. So if we just press that down, you can see that, I'll show you that. So then we need to do the other side. So again, you want that nice sort of edge, not this the end pieces. You want this nice edge that's going to show on the outside of the envelope. So we just glue one side. And again, just leave that a little way away from the edge there. Then again, you don't want it to be, again, just so it's just a little bit away from the edge. And then you can fold this up and test it. Sometimes it will stick out a little bit, which it does look like it's going to do that on this side, but you know, it is a handmade item. So that now the next part is just a little bit more tricky. So we just need to take some glue and glue this part with our white tacky glue. And then if you just press these edges down and bring it up like that, and then you can just adjust these folds to just try to get them as neat as possible near the edge. And with the white tacky glue, you do have a few seconds to make some adjustments and to move the card around if you want to. So just press that down. And there you go. So you've got your little gussets on the side. So that just needs to dry off for a little while just to make sure it's well stuck down. And that's it, that's done. There we go. So it comes out really pretty, and you can just put things, you can get extra things in these, and they're just nice to put in your journals. So I'll just bring these two back in again. And don't forget, you can use all your old pieces of scrapbook paper up, because we're always looking to try and use our scrapbook paper, our little scraps up. So there we go. So I hope you enjoyed that, and if you have any questions, then just comment down below and I'll try and help you. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and just like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.